Hello, good evening everyone. This is CA Chandan Patni and we shall be starting with our MCQ series. Okay, so we shall be discussing MCQs of EIS, of SM and audit also. Okay, and these questions which I shall be discussing are questions given by ICI. ICNA the questions. It is available in the form of the MCQ booklet, and some questions are also going to be from the study material. Okay, now before I can start the session, I just want anyone who is watching live to confirm if I am audible, if I am visible. Please write it in the chat box so that I get to know that yes, everything is okay and we can start with the session. All right, so Rohit says audible. Thank you so much, Rohit. All right, fine. So yeah, in this session, my agenda is to discuss MCQs from chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. Okay, so what I want all of you to do is, as and when we discuss the questions, keep on typing the correct answers which you feel in the chat box, and accordingly we'll discuss. Okay, each question I'll take up, I'll see your answers also, and we'll go into the content also. If you know, if any concepts are required to be revised, and also we shall cover that also accordingly. All right, okay. All right, hello Jyotirmoy. All right, Jami says everything is fine. Thank you so much guys for confirming. Okay, so let us start. All right, now I shall be covering first, as I told you, we shall be discussing a few MCQs. Again, let me tell you, these are not my questions. These are taken from the ICI MCQ booklet. We are just going to discuss it. Okay, and you have to answer as and when we proceed with the content. Okay, so we're starting off with chapter number 1, automated business processes. Number 1 question number 1: an EIS, enterprise information system, provides a technology platform that enables organization to integrate and coordinate their business process on a robust foundation. Identify the statement that does not fall under the list of objectives of EIS, something which is not an objective of EIS. Okay, so reduce service cycles, this seems to be an objective. Okay, identify manual processes, reduce cost and increase operational efficiency. Guys, I want all of you to answer. What do you think should be the answer? Let me see how many of you are active. Okay, Monica says B, identify manual processes. Okay, I want others also to respond. Yeah, so Monica, yeah, you are absolutely correct, because this seems identifying manual processes, it is not an objective of EIS. This is something which is, I can say, a prerequisite, right? That whatever manual processes are, usko kaise sudhar sakte, how can we, you know, improve it and all. So the obvious objectives of EIS will be to reduce the service cycles, reduce cost, increase operational efficiency. But identifying manual process is not the outcome, not the objective of implementing EIS. This is can be called as a prerequisite of EIS. Yes, all of you are correct. Ashik, Jami, all of you are correct. Awesome, great. Okay, second question. And guys, as and when I discuss, if you have any doubts while I'm discussing, please raise your concerns in the chat box. I'm continuously following the chat box also. I'll try my best to explain you the concept as and when we go ahead with the questions. Okay, now next, a manufacturing company is facing an issue of not being able to provide timely supply of its product to the customers. Okay, Mr. Anil, an IS auditor, information systems auditor of this company, identified that the delay is due to manual processing. Why is the delay there? Because of manual processing of certain processes involved in the company. Okay, so he suggested that the company should adopt. There are 4 systems given. What should the company adopt to overcome the problem? So what is the problem here? First understand guys, the problem is they are facing an issue that they are not able to provide timely the production to the customers. Okay, so what system should be implemented? Yes, so everyone is answering. Okay, yeah, I need the answers again. First option is core banking systems, then we have strategic level systems, then we have business process automation, and then we have expert systems. What should be the answer, guys? Yes, Now, Monica, you are correct. Now I got confused. You said B earlier. Okay. So everyone is saying C. Yes, you guys are correct. Why? Because core banking systems is something, which is going to be implemented by banks or maybe somebody who's into investments. Okay. So this is a manufacturing company. So this system is not appropriate for a manufacturing company. Strategic level systems and expert systems, these can be implemented by any organization. These are primarily decision making software, guys. These systems helps an organization, helps the management of the company to make decisions. Okay, but this delay in the supply of products or customers can only because of what? Manual processing. It can only be overcome by implementing what? Business process automation. They have to automate their processes. Yes. Okay. All right. Done. Next, depending on the size, nature of work and complexity involved in the processes of an organization, business processes are often broken into three categories. I hope all of you know this, that there are three categories of business processes: primary, secondary and management process. So which one of the following falls under the purview of primary process? Now this seems to be a good question. Okay, so there are three processes. We have to identify which of the following processes falls under the purview of primary process. Okay, so it deals with legal compliance. Okay, deals with core business and value chain, okay, then deals with core processes and functions within our organization, and finally we have deals with measuring, monitoring and control activities. So what do you think the answer is, guys? Okay, Ronak, you are correct. Harshita, correct. Shitiza, also you. Okay, right. So core business and value chain is the correct answer. Now deals with core processes and functions. This is basically what? This is going to be secondary, I can say, process. Okay, because secondary process or support process, they support both the primary process as well as the management process. Okay, and deals with measuring, monitoring and control activities. This is nothing but this is a part of management process, guys. Okay, so the answer is primary processes is something which deliver value to the customers, if you are able to recall. Okay, so this is the correct option is going to be answer point number B. Okay, I hope all of you are clear with this. Great. Next question. Okay, question number 4. Mr. X has a setup. So sorry, guys. Yes, Mr. X has set up his new business of manufacturing color pens. He is well known about various kinds of risk involved in his business. Okay, however, he intentionally violated some industry regulations while setting up his business. So when he started his new business, he violated some of the industry norms or regulations. Okay, so which category of risk does this refer to? Now before I dive into the options, guys, आप लोग मुझे ये बताओ, I want an answer from you guys, that do you remember that in chapter number 1, yes, I know you guys have straight away jumped to the answer, but yes, do you guys remember that what are the 3 different types of risk that we cover in chapter number 1 of EIS? Can you write the 3 different types of risk that we cover, guys? Can you tell me the different types of risk which is there in your syllabus in chapter number 1 of EIS? Yes, if you are not able to recall, let me just tell you guys, we had a topic on what are the different types of risk. Okay, number 1 was business risk. There are 3 different types of risk given in our book. So one is business risk, second is something related to technology, so we have technology risk. Okay, and the third one is basically we have data related risk. Business, technology and data. Yes, Harshita, you are absolutely correct. And under business risk, if you remember, we had strategic risk. Okay, something to do with daily businesses and also business risk. Under business risk, we have strategic, we have operational. Okay, then we have financial. Can you name other risk under business risk, guys? This is an important question. What are the various business risks? Strategic, operational, functional. Then we have compliance. Okay, then we have reputational risk also. Then we have other risk and hazard also. Okay, now why did I mention this? Because I just wanted you to recall that, uh, yeah, hazard, absolutely correct. So under chapter number one, we cover three different types of risk. One is business risk, technology related risk, and data related risk. Okay, now this has to do with, because he's setting up his business. All right, all of you have answered it correctly, that he unintentionally violated some industry regulations. Now because he has violated some regulations, there might be some penalty etc on him. So what category of risk does it refer to? The answer is uh, yeah, whatever it is. So the answer is going to be what? Compliance risk. He unintentionally did it also, then obviously because he has violated some of the regulations, it is going to be a part of what? Compliance risk. Okay, next. Why did I write all this? Why did I recall? I wanted you to recall this because there are many questions from this part, pertaining in the form of MCQs, which we are going to discuss. Okay, so that is why I thought let us recall the three different types of risk. All right, great. Next, gigs and gigs. The food court in a shopping mall wants to automate its manual cash counter into an automated card system. Okay, it's a food court. Okay, and most of you, if you must have visited any food court these days now, so they, you pay 500,000 rupees and they give you a card. Okay, it's like a recharge prepaid card. Okay, now they have done this. Same card can be used at various outlets in the food court. So there are many outlets, McDonald's and local outlets, many outlets in the mall, and you can use that card. So the automation optimizes the information flow in service and billing. Identify from which of the following objectives of BPA the gigs is achieving by using this method. So what is the objective or benefit which is accruing to gigs by automating this system, this process of cash? Okay, or let's say of manual cash. So what do you think is the answer, guys? Okay, we have governance and reliability, we have reduced cost, we have reduced turnaround time, and we have quality and consistency. Okay, everyone is saying reduced turnaround time. Yes, okay, you guys are correct, but I want to know the reason also, guys. Why do you think that there will be reduced turnaround time? Yes, I want the reason, guys. Also, if you can mention that this topic, this points are from, basically, if you are able to recall, these are nothing but benefits of BPA, benefits of doing the automation. There are 7 points given in our book and 4 points has already been mentioned here. Okay, but now because they have automated their manual cash counters, imagine, guys, okay, if everything is in cash, I am at the counter, you pay me 1000 rupees, again you have taken food of 300 400, I'll give you the change again, and then you go to another outlet, again you pay there also. It is going to take a lot of time, right? So if let's say there is one counter, you give the money, they'll recharge, they'll give you a card by recharging it with the amount, you just go to the different outlets, they'll swipe it and your balance will be deducted. No hassle of taking cash and then giving you back the change, etc. Finally, when you are done with eating the food, you can go back to the main counter again and take the money whatever is left in your cart. So this is going to basically what? Reduce the turnaround time. TAT, turnaround time, basically is going to be reduced. Okay, I hope yeah, eliminate unwanted steps. Absolutely, Ronak, you are absolutely correct. Okay, next, Mr. Z is pursuing the course of MCA and is undergoing practical training in an e-commerce company. He has been given a task to prepare a flowchart describing the flow of transactions through various modes of payment used by customers to pay the bill of a company. So he has to make a flowchart, basically. Okay, now identify the terminology that is irrelevant to the process of making of flowcharts. Now again, this is a very simple question. I want answers from you guys. He has to make a flowchart. So which terminology is irrelevant to the process of making flowchart? How many of you have done the practical parts of flowchart, practical questions of flowchart? Yes. Yes, I'm waiting for you guys to answer this. It's a very, very simple topic. Okay, am I audible, guys? I just need to confirm again and again. Okay, Ronak says D. Monica says yes. Okay, so it's a very simple thing, guys. What happens in a flow chart? You must have seen. Identify the terminology that is irrelevant to the process of making flow chart. So when you make a flow chart, guys, you use different symbols, right? So if you remember, for process we use rectangle box. Okay, for decision whether we have to do this or that, we use what is the symbol used for decision, guys? We use a diamond, right? For document, if you want to print something in hard copy, let's say if the question says print, draw and print a flow chart, for document we have a whistle like symbol, if you can see. And there is no concept of risk. I mean, in the process of flow chart, when you make a flow chart, we have symbols for process, for decision, for document, but risk is an odd term out here. So identify the terminology that is irrelevant to the process. So risk is a point. Okay, if you are not able to recall, guys, let me just show it to you very quickly that these are the symbols of flow charts that you must have covered. If you can see, you know, we start this way. This is a rectangle, parallelogram, diamond, etc. Okay, so it is there in your syllabus, right? The different symbols that is used in a flow chart. So a very simple question. Is this clear to everyone now? Most of you did not answer this, guys. This is a simple question. Yes. All right. Okay. Moving ahead. Next question. Question number 7. Enterprise Risk Management Framework, ERM, consists of interrelated components that are used to identify events that are relevant to organization's objective. Okay, now identify which of the following is not a component of ERM framework. Not a component. Now first, before you start telling me the answer for this question, how many components of ERM is there? How many components we have? Yes, Mani, you are correct, but I want to know how many components are there. What are the interrelated components of ERM? Can you guys tell me this? How many components? Yes, there are how many? 8 components. Yes, you are correct. Monica, correct. Yes, there are 8 components of ERM, 8 components of interrelated, or let's say interrelated components of the ERM framework. What are the components, guys? If I just write it quickly for you, one is internal environment, number 1. Okay, second is objective setting. Third is event identification. Please excuse my handwriting, I'm just being quick here, it is not that bad. Okay, fourth is risk assessment. Then we have risk response. Then we have control activities. Okay, then number 7, information and communication. I'm writing it in short, information and communication. And finally we have monitoring. Okay, so these are the 8 components of internal control. Now we have to find out which of the following is not a component. Very simple. So internal environment is a component. Objective setting is also a component. If you can see here, objective setting, internal environment is there. Event identification is also there. So organization chart, this point has nothing to do with the 8 components, right? So the correct answer for this is point number B. Now just one thing before I proceed with the next question, guys. When you try to solve MCQs and all, again I have been telling this to all the students every time that, you know, this should be the approach. You know, when you are going through the MCQ questions, it's not just that you have to just identify the correct answer, or maybe you need to know the underlying concept also. So when you study in this manner, your underlying concept also gets revised. Okay, and only way to score good marks in MCQ is to have your concepts super clear. This is what I tell in each and every class of mine, and I will always keep on saying this, that if you want to score well in the MCQs, rather than practicing thousands of questions, it is better to have your concepts of the main material super clear. Okay, and just for the sake of practice and gaining some confidence, the questions given by ICI, the questions that we are discussing should be sufficient. Okay, question number 8. Mr. Anil is working with XYZ company that is under the process of adopting ERM framework. So this company wants to adopt ERM framework. He prepared a list of policies and procedures. He prepared a list of policies and procedures that need to be established and executed to ensure that risk responses that management selected are effectively carried out. Good question. Which component of ERM is referred here during this activity? So he has prepared a list of the two words which is the key word of this particular question. He has prepared a list of policies and procedures. Okay. Now you have to tell which component of ERM is referred here during this activity. He is making some policies and procedures, so you have to tell me which component of ERM is referred to by making, let's say, policies and procedures. Yes, a very good question. This Mr. Anil has made certain policies and procedures, so we have to tell that out of the 8 components, these policies and procedures fall under which category, which component. So we have risk assessment, control activities, information and communication, and monitoring. Yes, Mani you are saying B. Darun also says B. Ronak says A. No, Ronak, it's not going to be A, because what happens, please understand, these control activities, controls, after assessment of risk, you know how they are going to respond to the risk, then they implement controls. Uske baad hi management of the company, they try and implement controls. And controls, when I say they implement controls, it is always in the form of policies and procedure. How will controls be implemented in an organization, guys? In the form of policies and procedures, right? Discount policy hai, let's say user ID password policy. So all controls are implemented in the form of policies and procedures. So he has made certain policies and procedures. So this means he is referring to which activity here? Control activities. Yes, great. Ninth question now. Mr. Shravan, HR manager of an MNC, asked his subordinate to prepare files of various processes involved in human resource management. So his subordinate is making some price. Which of the following does not form a part of human resource management? Now this is very simple question, doesn't require much of the explanation, but yes, guys, I'm waiting for you to answer. Which of the following does not form a part of HR management? Training and development is obviously a part of HR. Career development, leadership development. Invoicing, yes, invoicing is not a part of HR management. Now can you tell me, guys, invoicing will be a part of which process? Invoicing will be a part of which process? If it is not HR, yeah, all of you are correct. Umesh, you are correct. Rajwati, you are correct. Ronak, correct. Yes. Umesh again says that invoicing will be a part of purchase department. Okay. We are making the invoice, we are making, let's say, the invoice. So who is it is a part of, it is going to be part of S&D process, sales and distribution process. If you remember the various modules of the ERP, it is going to be a part of sales. Yes, now Umesh, you are correct. Okay, sales, right. Next question. To make a success in the business and to reduce the timing of manual work, the organization should implement business process automation, which involves documentation as well. So if you remember, guys, there are certain steps in documentation. Okay, that why does the company need BPA, then the rules and regulations which need to be adhered to, and then they have to document, they need to document the existing processes and all. Okay, so under BPA the documentation is done. Now the point is, which of the following is not a benefit of documentation of BPA? So when we document existing processes which we are trying to automate, it is going to give us clarity on the process. It is going to help us to find the bottlenecks and obstacles. Okay, it is going to help us to identify the source of inefficiency. But documenting your existing processes will not help you to design new policy format. Okay, so I think this is going to be the correct answer. This is not a benefit of documentation. But yeah, when you document an existing process, it will throw some light on the process, it will give clarity. Bottlenecks kya obstacles hai wo aap pehchan paoge, and if there is any inefficiency in the process also. Right, all of you are correct. Super great. All right, next question. An online store follows a process of intimating about whole tracking of the order placed by customers through SMS to their registered mobile numbers. So these days when you buy from e-commerce, aapko bhi SMS aata hoga. They tell you that your order has been received, goods has been dispatched. जब delivery होने वाला होता है, you'll get a message that delivery guy is going to deliver the goods to you. So you have to tell me this activity is example of what? Supply chain management, customer relationship management, order to cash, procure to pay. Yes, the answer is customer relationship management. These are things which is going to help basically to maintain or manage relationships with the customer. We are updating the customer, so it is definitely a part of CRM. Oh, okay, great. Next, again, uh, huge oil spilled from an oil well run by British Petroleum, one of the largest oil companies in the world, and it resulted in assessed environmental damage. Obviously, if oil is spilled into the oceans and all, it leads to some environmental damage of about $20 billion. The company spent or expended an amount of $2 billion on promotional ads informing the world that it is an environmental friendly company. So now what has happened here is basically they have spent $2 billion on promotions informing everyone that they care for the environment, that they are environmental friendly company. Now the promotional advertisements were done to prevent the company from what damage? Again, see these options, these are nothing but the business risk. Do you remember I just covered there in chapter number 1? We had covered 3 different types of risk. Okay, now these are the various business risk. Now they are paying so much of money to promote that they are not damaging or causing harm to the environment, that they are environmental friendly company. So yes, the correct answer is going to be what? Reputation. They are spending so much amount of money to basically prevent, or let's say safeguard their reputation. So all of you are correct. Next, as an internal auditor of a steel company, Mr. Ajay observed that the vendor supplying the material to manufacture steel has begun to supply the damaged material. So they had a vendor who used to supply supply the material, but now he has started giving, let's say, damaged material or low quality material. He reported the issue to the company's top management. Which of the following risk management strategy would be followed by top management of the company if they decide to seek more capable suppliers and leave current supplier? Good question again. So if you remember that there are 4 risk management strategies, guys. Accept the risk, or what is the other name of accept the risk? We have something called as tolerate the risk. Okay, we have transfer the risk. What is the other name for transfer the risk? Share the risk. Terminate the risk, we have another name for it, eliminate. Okay, and treat the risk is nothing but, or let's say, mitigate the risk. Okay, now which is the correct option? Everyone is saying C is terminate the risk. Yeah, absolutely, because if the risk pertains to one particular vendor, it is better to replace the vendor and find someone who is more capable. So this is basically what? Terminate the risk. You guys are correct. Nice. Next, again, in the biannual meeting of DEF Hotel Group, the senior officials are discussing risks that could impact hotels' effective working in relation to customer satisfaction and change integration. So they are discussing risks that could impact hotels' effective working in relation to customer satisfaction and change integration. Which of the following business risk is being discussed? Now again, this topic pertains to the various business risks. These are the points which is a part of the various business risk. So in this topic, again, financial risk, nothing to do with finance, compliance. I think the answer is going to be operational risk, because it is with respect to the hotel's effective working. Right. All of you are correct. Great. Next question. Question number 15. KK Sons Limited automated all its business processes to operate efficiently and effectively. So they have automated all their business processes. Identify the factor that is responsible to ensure that no unauthorized changes or amendments can be made in its data after implementing automation. Okay, so if you remember, guys, these are nothing but success factors, BPA success factors. Okay, so when all the processes are automated, the company doesn't want that there should be any unauthorized changes in the data. So which factor are we referring to here? Okay, everyone is saying integrity. You guys are correct. Integrity means that the data should not be modified, could not be modified by an unauthorized users. Okay, data should be in its original form. There shouldn't be any scope of unauthorized modification in the data. Okay, all right. So yeah, integrity is the correct answer. Confidentiality means that the data should be available to only authorized users, but we are not talking about this. We are talking about unauthorized amendments. So integrity is the correct answer here. Okay, Next, 16 number question. In case the management of an organization XYZ anticipates that the impact and probability of occurrence of a risk is very low. So they anticipate that the impact and probability of any risk happening is of a particular risk is very low. Which risk management strategy should they be following? Should they follow? So the impact and the probability of happening is very low. So what do you think? Which strategy, risk management strategy, should they be following? Okay, now everyone is saying A. Okay, tolerate the risk. What is another name for tolerate the risk? It is accept the risk. So because the risk is very low, guys, I mean the impact, even if the risk materializes, the outcomes, the impact of the risk is very low, and the probability of happening, the risk materializing is also very low. So the management is going to accept the risk. Okay, they are not going to think of terminating, sharing the risk, or treating. Treating means, let's say, mitigating the risk. Right, all of you are correct. Nice. Next question. Okay, so success of any business process automation shall only be achieved when BPA ensures certain characteristics. Okay, which of the following is not included in those characteristics? Oh, this is a easy question. Again, I'm sure you guys will be able to tell me what are the success factors of a BPA. CIA: confidentiality, integrity, availability, and timeliness. Okay, so we have integrity, we have availability, we have timeliness, but diligence is something I don't know from where they have given the option. So which of the following is not included in those characteristics? The answer is diligence. Yes, you guys are correct. Okay, so yes, we have covered 17 questions from chapter number 1, but in the ICAI MCQ booklet you'll find few more questions, but the ones who have studied from me, or maybe the ones who are following this book, you guys must be knowing that concepts or topics with respect to IT Act. Okay, I discussed generally this in chapter number 5. Concepts with respect to controls, as per my book, it is discussed in chapter number 3. So I'll pick up those questions when we do the relevant chapters, chapter 3 and chapter number 5. Okay, so yes, we have covered 17 questions from chapter number 1. Now moving on to chapter number 2. So guys, each day there are I think around 120 questions in the ICAI MCQ booklet. So probably each day we shall be discussing around 35-40 questions, so that we can cover EIS in the next 4-5 days. Following this, we shall start with maybe audit or SM also. Okay, now chapter 2 is financial and accounting systems. Meanwhile guys, if you are happy, if you are liking the video, please press the like button and also share it with your friends, the ones who might need it, if you think it is going to be beneficial for them. Okay, thank you so much. Now let's start the financial and accounting system questions, chapter number 2. Okay, so XYZ Limited is an ink manufacturing company that implemented enterprise-wide information systems to coordinate all resources and activities required to complete various business processes. Choose the main characteristics of ERP system from the following. So it's a very simple question. We have to find out the main characteristic of the ERP system. Separate data maintenance by each department. Do you think in ERP separate database is maintained? No. Yes. In ERP, we have a centralized department, guys, a centralized database. The database is here. It is a centralized database, and all departments, whether it is finance and accounting, controlling, or let's say it is marketing, it is production, everyone, each and every department will be connected to the centralized database. Yes, this seems to be correct answer, but let's read the other options also. No direct inter-department communication. Because of ERP, the communication improves. No change in cycle time. Cycle time will also get reduced. Okay, so the correct answer is centralized database. Yes, correct. Okay, next, to sustain in today's competitive world and make the business a success, organizations are implementing ERP systems and getting many benefits from the same. From the following, which is not a benefit of ERP? Again, a very simple question. Information integration. Yes, this seems to be a benefit, because I told you they have a centralized database. All information will be put into this centralized database. So information integration is there. Reduction of lead time will be there. Reduction in cycle time. These are obvious benefits. So enhanced quality cost. Obviously, see, one of the benefit of ERP is what? That the cost will go down, but they are saying that the cost will go up. Enhanced cost. No, this is not a benefit of ERP. Hence, this would be the answer. Yes, great. Next, Mr. Rajesh has developed accounting software for a private firm. While explaining the benefits of software to the company's management, he made a false statement about the back end of the software. He made a false statement about back end of the software. Identify from the following statements which he would have said about backend. Now, but before I again dive into the options, do you remember that there are two parts generally in a software? One is called as front end and the other one is called as what? Backend. Okay, so considering this, we have to see which of the options, what false statement did he make. Okay, all right, so it says he made a false statement about backend of the software. Okay, now it says identify which statement is incorrect. Okay, communicates with the user directly. Does backend communicate with the user directly? Some of you are saying A as the answer, some of you are saying D also. Okay, but be very clear, guys. Backend does the processing and all. They only communicate with whom? The front end. And the user will only communicate with what? The front end. Yes, so I think this option is going to be the correct answer. This is a false statement given by Mr. Rajesh with respect to backend. Backend only communicates with front end, okay, and not with the user directly. Okay, now guys, can you tell me in what language do front end and backend communicate with each other? In what language front end and backend? They are going to talk in technical language. Okay, and user and front end will communicate. How do you communicate with your mobile phone? How do you communicate with your mobile phone? I mean it's not technical, right? We just have simple English words and all. So user, communication between user and front end happens in simple language. Okay, but communication between front end and back end, it will happen through the technical language. Yes, Mani, you are correct. All right, moving ahead. Yes, Mr. X works on finance and accounting system of a private firm and maintains different types of master data in the system. I hope you know that there are two types of data, transactional data or master data. Transaction data can also be called as non-master data. Which of the following master data is not controlled by the user? Which of the following master data is not controlled by the company or user and depends on changes recommended by the government from time to time? Yes. We have four options: payroll master data, statutory master data, inventory master data, and we also have accounting master data. I want answer, guys. Mani is saying B. Okay, what about others? Yes, Ronak says B, Rajvati B. Okay, all right, all of you are correct, but can you guys tell me what will actually come under statutory master data? Give me examples of statutory master data. Yes, enough of options, guys. Give me examples of statutory master data. So I should know that, yes, the concept is clear in your heads. Right, GST rates 18%, whether this product is of 18%, 12%, the GST rates, it's a good, yeah, GST rate is a good example. Yes, TDS rates, all this are given by the government. Okay, the company, the organization has no say. They cannot change it as per their will, right? So these are statutory master data, right? Taxes, TDS, absolutely correct. Okay, can anyone tell me what are the examples? What would be there in payroll master data? Yes, payroll master data. I need examples for payroll also, guys. Yes, name of employees. Name of employees, yes, it's a correct option. Name of employees, the category to which the employee belongs, group of employees, yes, you are correct. What is the salary structure? We can say, yes, salary structure, absolutely correct. Okay, yes, employee details, right, great. All right, and accounting master data will obviously comprise of ledgers like sales, purchases, etc. Right? Okay, now next, all of the following represents the attributes of information provided by MIS, Management Information System, except one. Identify the odd one which does not belong to this category. So all the MIS reports which the company generates must have four characteristics. They must be relevant, they must be generated on a timely, they should give information on a timely basis, they must be accurate. So I think identify the odd one. Which is the odd one? It's not about scalable. What is the option, guys? What is the fourth characteristic? What is the fourth characteristic of information of an MIS report? Yes, you guys are correct. I want to know the correct word. It is not scalable. What is the correct word? What is the fourth characteristic? Yes, Mani, you are correct. The information should be what? Structured. Structured means, you know, it should be well organized, easy to understand. It should be simple. Yes. Okay. All right, next. Mr. Rajiv, a system administrator, installed application software for attendance of employees in automated working environment of Raj and Sons Limited. Okay, so application software was installed. Okay, now during the briefing session about the system to management, so Mr. Rajiv was, let's say you are the management, I am Mr. Rajiv, I'm explaining you the benefits of the software. So during the briefing session about the systems to management of Raj and Sons Limited, he made certain statements mentioned below. Out of these, choose the statement that is not true for installed software application. कौन सा statement installed के लिए सही नहीं है? Okay. All right, so it says it is installed on the hard disk of the computer. Okay, so all of you must be having some softwares in your laptop, mobile phone. Is it stored in your laptops? Is the software stored in the hard disk? The answer is correct. So ये option तो correct लग रहा है. Okay, the access of application is dependent on the speed of internet. Why everyone is answering D for this? When I जब software install कर लिया अपने laptop में, when I have installed the software in this particular laptop, I am not going to be worried about internet. See, I have MS Word installed in this particular laptop. So do I need internet connection to access MS Word? Not required. मेरे soft computer में Tally installed है, तो मैं internet पे dependent नहीं हूँ. So this particular statement, the access of application is dependent on speed of internet, it seems to be incorrect. Okay, had it been cloud based software, तब internet important होता है. Had it been cloud based software, then internet is a prime requirement. Anyways, the user has full physical control over the data. Obviously the data will also reside in your computer. Had it been cloud environment, data CSP के पास रहता, cloud service provider. Had it been cloud environment, the data would have been with the CSP, right? So this is also correct point. Installed applications cannot be used from any other standalone computer. Obviously, if I have installed Tally in this particular computer, I will have to access this computer only, right? I cannot use my mobile phone and access Tally or any other laptop. So I hope this is clear, everyone. कोई doubt है इसमें? Any doubts? Is it clear, everyone? Yes, is it clear, guys? Shall we move ahead? Yes, sir, clear. Okay, Mani, thank you. All right. Next question. Question number 24. The implementation of Dash involves extract, transform, and load procedures in coordination with a data warehouse and then using one or more reporting tools. So the implementation of what will basically involve ETL process, extract, transform, and load process. Do you think that ETL will be required in payroll accounting or financial accounting or inventory accounting? ETL is required for what? What purpose, guys? It is going to be for business reporting. If you remember, guys, when we make a data warehouse, okay, from our existing data, the process of ETL is done. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Data will be extracted from various sources like ERP, SCM, CRM. Then because the data will be of different formats, okay, it will be now transformed to one standardized format and then loaded into another hardware. So ETL is basically a part of using one or more reporting tools. It is for like business reporting. Yes, answer is A. The implementation of business reporting involves extract, transformation, and load procedures in coordination with the data warehouse and then using one or more reporting tools. So you all know data warehouse is a part of your business reporting. It's going to do a lot of analysis for you. Okay. All right, next, again a question with respect to data analytics. Okay, so while presenting data analytics report to the members of top management of his firm, Mr. X used acronym of various data analytics tools which were not understandable by many members. One of the terms that he often referred was OLAP. So we have to say what is the full form of OLAP. It says offline application processing, online analytical processing, online analytical product, offline application product. What do you think is the correct answer? So Mr. X actually was giving, presenting data analytics report, and he often referred to the word OLAP, OLAP. So which option is correct, guys? These are nothing but data analytics application. Data analytics application. So he was referring to, let's say, OLAP. OLAP is going to be what? Harshita says B. Monica also now saying B. Online analytical processing. Yes, OLAP stands for online analytical processing. Okay, online, it is a basically, I can say, data analytic application which will help you to I can say do multi-dimensional analysis. You will be able to do analysis on multiple aspects. Okay, but if you remember guys, I just want to ask you one more thing from here. Data analytics applications, because we are referring to data analytics application, one more data analytics application which is there in your book. Do you remember the word BI? I want you to comment or write it in the chat box. What does BI stand for? We have this BI, we covered OLAP, a bit of OLAP, but BI is a major topic there. Do you remember guys, BI? Yes. Money, you are correct. BI stands for business intelligence. Yes, Reshma, you are also correct. BI is business intelligence. So BI, OLAP, all these are various what? Data analytical tool, or let's say application. So correct answer is online analytical processing. Okay. Next question. S&D, sales and distribution module. Sales and distribution module is one of an important module of an ERP package. Which of the following activity does not belong to the sales and distribution process? Which of the following does not belong to the sale and distribution process? Can you tell me this? Sales and distribution. So pre-sale activities will be a part of sales and distribution. Okay. What does pre-sale activity means? Like finding out the potential customers, approaching them, etc. Payment obviously will be a part of sales and distribution process. So when you give the goods to the customer, you're going to give the invoice also, and finally the process will end only when they make the payment. So payment is also a part of it. Obviously you have to deliver the product to the customer, but production planning is not a part of S&D module. Production planning is not a part of S&D module. We have a separate module for this. Okay, so this is the correct answer. This is not a part of sales and distribution. Okay, I hope yes you guys are able to understand. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 27. It says, if an organization wants to install financial application on its own system to avoid the hassles of its implementation and maintenance. Okay, all right, it says, if an organization wants to install financial application on its own system, but they want to avoid the hassle of its implementation and as well as maintenance, they can use applications as which application, guys? Which application they can use? They don't want to, go with, they don't want to take care of the implementation, the maintenance, etc. Now, please imagine, guys. Yes, if I install one application in my local computer, if I install Tally, so whenever there is an update, whether there is any issue, I'll have to take care of it, I'll have to update it, right? But if everything is on the cloud, if it is a cloud based application, I need not worry about the updates. Okay, now Google Maps, if there is an update in some of the streets, name has been changed, etc., you don't have to worry, Google will do it for you. You don't have to take care of the updation, maintenance, right? So I think what should be the correct answer? They can use which applications? Cloud based software. This is not even a relevant option. Installed applications, if it is an installed application, you would have to take care of the updates, maintenance, etc. Okay, so I think the correct answer is cloud based. Yes, you guys are correct here. Okay, next, Mr. B, who works for a private firm ABC Limited, is required to make an entry in the accounting system. He is an accountant, maybe he wants to make an entry in the accounting system for maintaining a record of physical receipts of goods purchased from one of the firm's vendor. Okay, so they are trying to maintain physical receipts of goods purchased from one of its vendors. Which type of voucher shall be used? Very easy, very easy. Which type of voucher shall be used? Yes, I want the answer, guys. They have basically purchased goods from the firm's vendor, and they want to keep a record that they have received the goods. Yes. Okay, Mani says B, Harshita B, Reshma also says B. Yeah, why Aniket, you are not correct here. Aniket, purchase nahi hoga answer. Purchase will not be the correct answer. What kind of vouchers will they maintain? they are basically to record physical receipts of goods, that goods have actually been received. So they are going to maintain receipt note. Yes, delivery note is when we deliver the goods. Okay, receipt note is when we receive the goods. Sale purchases नहीं होगा. Sale purchases तो अलग चीज होगी. It is not with respect to physical receipts of goods. Okay, next 29 number question. In accounting system, various types of vouchers are required to maintain transactions within organization. Which of the following transaction is not recorded in the voucher type contra of accounting system? You all are experts in accounts, guys. I hope you'll be able to answer this. Contra, which of the transaction is not recorded in the voucher type contra? Cash deposit in bank, it's a part of contra entry. Cash withdrawal, contra. Cash transfer from one location to another is a part of contra entry. Recording of all types of trading sales by any mode. Trading sales is not a something to be recorded in the contra type voucher. Okay, so this would be the correct answer. Please remember, cash deposits in bank, cash withdrawal, cash transfers, these are all part of contra vouchers, contra entries, right? So which is not a part of your which should not be recorded in the contra voucher. It is basically all type of trading sales, etc. Okay, D, yes, D is the correct answer, right? Now question number 30. Mr. R is an accountant of an engineering college who works on an accounting system of the college. He is responsible to record all types of payments, salaries and incentives made to teaching as well as non-teaching staff through any mode. So he makes entries for payments, etc. Identify the type of voucher of accounting module used for this purpose. Again, a very extremely simple question. It's all about what? All payments. Obviously it will not be receipt voucher. Contra is for cash and bank. Journal. Can you tell me what for what kind of transaction is the journal used, guys? Please write in the chat box. Yeah, I'm yes, you guys are correct. The answer is D, but I'm asking you, obviously it is going to be payment voucher, but I just want you to write it for me. What kind of transactions will be recorded in the journal? Non-cash item. Divya, yes, Divya, you are correct. आप सही हो. Non-cash transactions, okay, will be part of journal. Great. Okay. Next question number 31. Again, something to similar options we have. Let's see the question. Yeah, non-cash. Madhuri, you are correct. Yes. Okay. Mr. Anil is a clerk in accounts department of GBS public school who works on accounting system well implemented in the school. He is supposed to record details of purchase and sale of fixed assets on credit. He is supposed to record all the sale and purchase of fixed assets on credit. Identify the voucher from the following which is being used by him for his work. Now tell me which voucher will be used. The question has made it very clear, guys. Purchase or sale of fixed assets on credit. On credit, non-cash. So contra nahi hoga, receipt hoga nahi, payment nahi hoga. So the correct answer here will be what? Journal. Yes. Yes. All of you are correct. Rajvati, you are correct. Reshma, correct. C is correct. Right. Okay. Question number 32. Okay, we are left with only 3 more questions, guys. 3 or 4 questions. Okay, yes. JKM Private Limited is an apparel manufacturing company well equipped with ERP. So this is a company into apparel manufacturing and they have ERP. The production department has sent a requisition. The production department has sent a requisition to purchase department for purchase of raw materials. Okay. Now Mr. Y, the purchase manager of JKM Limited, wants to evaluate the current stock position and purchase order pending position of this company before accepting the requisition. Great. Which of the following modules of ERP will help Mr. Y in this? Now, which module are they talking about, guys? We have S&D module, we have material management module, we have production planning module, and we have SCM module. So the production department has sent a requisition to the purchase department that they want certain raw materials. Now Mr. Y is the purchase officer. He wants to, before accepting the requisition, he wants to see the current stock position, etc. Right. So which module basically will help Mr. Y in this? Yes, guys, don't be confused. Okay. Mani says B, Harshita B, Zami C, Divya says B. It is a part of material management module, guys. Material management module. Okay. Sales. Why? Because material management is what? Can you tell me? Okay, let me just write the entire chain of material management module, there will be something called as purchase requisition first. Purchase requisition कौन किसको देता है? Production department will give it to the purchase department. Once purchase requisition is given, the purchase officer will evaluate the same. Evaluation of purchase requisition. Okay, who gives purchase requisition, guys? Generally the production team will give it to the purchase. Okay, now when the purchase officers feel that okay, yes, raw materials need to be procured, they are going to invite for certain quotations, and upon receiving the quotations they are going to evaluate the quotation. Evaluate quotation, I am writing Q. Once quotation is evaluated, okay, the purchase order will be given. Now again, who gives the purchase order? Let me write it for you guys. Purchase requisition is given by whom? Let's say production department will give it to purchase. Purchase order will be given by whom? Purchase department will give it to vendor. Okay, now once purchase order is given, what is going to happen? The vendor is going to give the material, so the material will be received. So let's say receipt of material. Receipt of material. Okay, who receives the material? Can anyone tell me this? Once raw material arrives, who will receive it? Which department, guys? Will it straight away go to the production? Will it go to the purchase department, or will it be a part of the stores department? The raw material will be received by whom? The stores department, right? And receipt of purchase, receipt of material, and then when the production would want the raw material, the stores will issue of raw material. Who is going to issue the raw material? Let's say it will be done by whom? The stores to the production. But please understand, the material management process doesn't end here. Okay, so after this, along with all this, the vendor is also going to give us purchase invoice. I am just writing invoice, and finally on the basis of this invoice, payment will be made. Payment will be made by which department? Accounts department or finance department. So this is the entire cycle. Okay, so in the given question, obviously Mr. Y, he will check the current stock position and purchase order pending. So he will take the help of which module, guys? MM module. Okay, all right. Now next question. Organizations implementing. See, this is a very simple question. Many of you might have found it a bit complicated, but that would mean you have not understood the MM process, S&D process properly. So go through the process, guys, and I'm sure you'll be able to do good in the exams if your concepts are clear. Okay, now question number 33. Organizations implementing ERP should abreast of latest technological development. The control where care must be taken while selecting the vendor and upgrade contracts. Selecting the vendor and upgrade contracts should be signed to minimize the risk. It belongs to an aspect of technology risk. Okay, the control where care must be taken. So answer is very simple. Which control should the companies take into consideration while they are selecting the vendor and while they are with respect to upgrade contracts also? Now guys, what happens is, one major risk in ERP is what? You buy the ERP. आप ऐसे ही कोई भी वेंडर से ERP अगर ले लेते हो, if you buy it from any vendor without doing a proper assessment of the vendor, he will sell you the software, but then you will not be able to even trace him. Now if there is an update or something, whom are you going to look upon? So basically update is a very critical aspect of any ERP. Okay, so we have to be very careful while we are selecting the vendor, and there should be proper contracts with respect to upgrades and enhancements. Okay, so which particular control should be there? Enhancement and upgrades. The answer is very simple, but I just want you to tell me, guys, this is a question from the risk and controls of ERP. What are the 5 different risks in ERP? It's a very big topic. What are the 5 different risks in ERP? Can anyone answer this? If you remember, we have something called as people risk, then we have process risk, okay, then we have technology risk, then we have let's say others, or let's say other implementation issues, and finally we have one more risk, which is post implementation issues. Okay, these are the 5 risks. If you remember, in one of the chapters, in chapter number 2, in one of the part of this chapter, there are risk and controls with respect to ERP. So we have various risk, and you also cover the controls. Yes, Mani, you are correct. People, process, technology, implementation, and post implementation. Okay, great. Next question. Mr. Neeraj is working on a project on healthcare system where he has to perform data mining on the database of patients. He has to perform what? Data mining on the database of patients of last 5 years in the ABC hospital. The hospital provided him inconsistent data. So whatever data he has got, it is not great. He has got inconsistent data with lots of errors and missing values. So he has to apply various techniques to get rid of these anomalies or problems. Identify from the following process which he can use to get rid of these anomalies. How can he basically get rid of these problems? Okay, so we have 4 processes here: data cleaning, data selection, data integration, and data transformation, guys. Okay, now first thing, let's say he has got data from different sources. Now the data is not correct, and this is where all the data will be kept. We call it as data warehouse. Here the data will be kept, and once the data is proper, he'll perform something called as data mining. Okay, data mining is an analytical tool which is basically used to find hidden trends and pattern. But because the data is not proper, he will perform ETL, extract, transform, and load. So once he extracts data, he will have to clean the data first. No, it's not about integration. It says how will he be able to get rid of this anomalies. He will have to do data cleaning. He'll have to clean the data first, clean the data, and then once the cleaning of data happens, I mean transformation happens, then he's going to load it into the data warehouse. Then the integration will happen. Okay, so why are most of you saying data integration? If you integrate all the wrong data, you have the wrong data warehouse, guys. It will not lead to correct data analytics. It will not lead to correct data mining. So first thing is what? He has to correct the data. So he'll do something called as cleaning, or he'll change the formats, everything. He'll make every data standardized, and then he'll put all the data here. Recall the process of ETL, guys. Okay, all right. So integration, do you think why everyone is saying C? What is the doubt, guys? Please write it in the comment box. Yes. Now Jami, you're saying B. B. No, no, no. Do you have doubt, guys? First, he'll have to make the data into a standardized format. If there are errors and all, he'll have to do a process of data cleaning. I mean, see, he has already taken data, so extract has already been done. Now he's going to make the data into a standardized format. He'll do the cleaning. He'll do all the sort of things to remove the anomalies. And once the data is in a standardized format, then he'll integrate the entire data into one data warehouse. ओके नो रौनक, आई थॉट दिस हैपेंड बिकॉज डेटा इज स्कैटर्ड. नहीं, स्कैटर्ड तो रहेगा ही ना, बट जब आपको डेटा अलग अलग जगह से मिल रहा है एंड इट इज इनकरेक्ट, आपको पहले डेटा को स्टैंडर्डाइज बनाना पड़ेगा. यू हैव टू रिमूव द एनोमलीज एंड ऑल. सो आप डेटा क्लीन करोगे बिफोर यू कैन लोड इट इनटू द वेयर हाउस. ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम गाइज. सी, दीज आर बेसिक थिंग्स. आई मीन व्हेन यू कवर ETL प्रोसेस प्रॉपरली, यू विल रीड द ETL प्रोसेस प्रॉपरली, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. ओके, सो with this, guys, we are done with the MCQ booklet, ICI MCQ booklet pertaining to, questions pertaining to chapter 1 and chapter number 2. In the coming sessions, I'll inform you in my Telegram channel. We shall soon be, in a day or two, we shall be doing chapter number 3, 4 and 5 also. And similarly, on similar ways, similarly, we shall be covering all the chapter wise MCQs of audit as well, and strategic management also. Okay. All right. I hope this session was beneficial to you. Again, requesting all of you to press that like button and share it with your friends also, and if possible guys, do leave a comment also, your feedback also, so that I can read them and implement those things in my upcoming sessions also. Okay, I hope this was useful to you, and tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow we shall come up with chapter number 3. Please stay, please subscribe to my telegram channel also. I'll keep on updating there regarding the timings of the live session. Okay, thank you so much guys, thank you for being such wonderful audience. I hope to see you soon. Good night, bye bye.